interview was the best experience, I would say. Whatever rank you had has nothing to do with what happens after you come here. It would be wrong if I say that I didn't fall into that trap, because I myself is a victim of that trap, so-called vicious cycle. I think we can't really complain to students because it's a way we are being conditioned since childhood. Like, we aren't given much exposure to anything so-called design or art. Even in schools, something like art or design is considered as something like a secondary subject, if you ask me. I think we can't really complain the students for that. It is because of the way they are conditioned since childhood, that they are generally unaware about the so-called art or design colleges. So me coming to NID is a bit of a tragic story. So even I was preparing for IIT, I was preparing for engineering, because I was this so-called smart kid till my 10th grade. So my parents thought I would be able to, crack IIT or NEET. But even I wasn't sure basically like what to pursue. So I thought, okay, let's give it a try. If I won't be like, me not qualifying is something secondary. So I thought, let's give it a try. And I did prepare. I went for IIT coaching. So it was like school come coaching. So yeah, but by the end of 12th, my 12th, and also I took biomaths. So it was biology, maths, yeah, and just English period was my relief, so-called. So by the end of 12th, I understood that science is not my cup of tea. And I really need to do something that's, that'll kind of, that actually gets me out of my comfort zone, where there is nothing called, formulas, or no, that would be a bit cliche if I say that science and maths was not interesting, because science and maths was interesting. I won't complain those subjects. I perfectly knew that I can't pull this off. So I wanted something that, and these subjects didn't excite me, to be very honest. The subjects didn't excite me anymore. So I just wanted to, put myself into that phase where I'm troubled, basically. I give myself a space to think and create something of my own. That's how I got to know about NID. So basically, it was my mom who came to me, and considering my situation and what I was going through, she was the first one to, she came like a relief in disguise. She came to me and told me, there is a college called NID, it's a design institute. And then, just like any other normal person, I was like, design? You mean like fashion designing? Obviously, I'm not interested for fashion designing. But then she told me, no, it's not like fashion designing, it's more than that. So that's when I actually sat down and looked up for what NID really is. And I must say, it really excited me because this was something new that I wasn't put forth before. So the very idea of NID excited me more than what is being taught, or what is being delivered, or the degree, so-called degree. What excited me was the entrance process. Let me make this clear. Take the entrance procedure of IIT and NEET, where they have already prepared a set of answer key, and what they look there is how close your answers is to the already set answer key. But in case of NID, what they're looking for is how different your answers are to the already prepared set of answers which they have prepared. So this very idea excited me. So this was exactly what I needed in my 12th, when I was going through a really bad phase. So I thought, okay, I'll give this a try. And for the first phase, I didn't go for any entrance or some. I mean, I didn't prepare anything much. I just gave it a try, like randomly. But yeah, I was lucky enough to get through the first phase, and then it gave me some confidence that okay, I'm capable of doing something. At the same time, I did give IIT and NEET a try, but I couldn't get through it. I did get some NIT like Hamirpur or something in Himachal, but yeah, parents were like, no. So I'm like, okay, fine. At least I got something uh, which I didn't prepare for. So that's how NID happened to me, and I got through the second phase also. Thank you to some really good people and the interactions I've had with certain artists and certain people. I'm always grateful to them, because of which I could qualify my second level. Yeah, and yeah, that's how I came into NID. And I don't know whether it was my luck or something. The year I qualified, NID Bhopal and NID Jorhat started functioning. I was just lucky enough to be part of NID Bhopal. And right now I'm in my second year. Back when I wrote the entrance, it was not online, it was offline mode. So the first level, the prelims, I exactly don't remember the questions and all, but yeah, it did have descriptive questions, and where we had to sketch out stuff, and some multiple choice questions and some logic. That was what was there in the prelims. The second level, the studio test, it was more of hands-on stuff where you had to make things basically. So we were given the materials and we were asked to make stuff. And not just that, there were audio visual around also, where we were asked to listen to an audio piece, and we were asked to write about that. We were asked to write a story about it. And all this was very interesting. It didn't feel like I was writing an entrance. It was more like a, chill experience, the second phase. And there was an interview. Interview was the best experience, I would say. Interview may, what we have to do is, it's not like they'll ask questions to you. We were divided into groups of like 10 and 5, and we were given an object, and we were asked to build a story on that object. So they give us an object. The first person starts a story, the second person has to take it forth, and that's how it used to go. That was our interview, like the group discussion, GD. And there was one more thing, where basically we had to sketch out ourselves into a piece of paper, what we feel about us, and then we had to talk about that. So this also was an interesting thing. This was the prelims, the studio test, and this interview thingy. So basically three levels. And then and the results was announced based on these. That was how it was earlier. I don't know how it is now. So once you get into NID, it's a 4 years degree, BDES, Bachelor of Design. So the first year is the foundation course. Foundation course is basically you learn almost all of the things. There is no called specialization in the foundation year. You learn almost everything. You have an hands-on experience. You improve your sketching. You get a better knowledge. You get a shallow knowledge about things in general in the foundation. And once your foundation year is done, it's not just solely based on your grades, but also based on your interest that you will be given the discipline in the second year. And then for the next 3 years, you will be specializing on whatever you have chosen. So in our college, apart from NID Ahmedabad, in all the other 4 NIDs, it's communication design, industrial design, and textile design, 3 disciplines. So then after foundation year, you get to choose. It's not like you get to choose, but they give you not just based on your rank, but also on your interest, based on your interest. But obviously, we do have a choice to fill a form where we can write our choice, what we want as a first preference, second preference, and third preference. So based on our choice and the grades you procure in your foundation year, you will be given the discipline in the second year. And then you carry on with that for the next 3 years. The NID ranks that you procure in your entrance is just to make sure that you get in here. But after you come in here, it's a totally different world. It has whatever rank you had has nothing to do with what happens after you come here. It's solely based on your growth inside NID. So whatever you was outside, like whatever grade you got in the entrance, has nothing to do with your disciplines. It's solely based on your performance in your foundation year and your interest. It's more of a learning experience than studying something. So I was actually wondered when we got into the foundation year, there was normally when you get into a college, they usually gives you the books, the textbooks or so-called any books, but we were not given any books. It was just stationery. It was like color pencils and all those sketchbooks and all those stuff. And I'm like, okay, there is no books. I can't really say like what are the courses in the foundation year, but to give a gist of that, there is sketching, there is geometry, there is communication studies, there is space form and structure, and yeah. But this is not really the case in all NIDs. Every year this varies. So basically what foundation does to you is it gives a gist of all the three disciplines that you're going to choose in your next year. So it's like it gives you a shallow level knowledge. Not, I can't really say shallow level knowledge. It is like a foundation, like a proper base to your ID, industrial design, communication design, and textile design. So foundation may you have courses or things that covers the subjects in all these three. So it's like a combination of all these three. And whatever I said now, the courses that I said now, is not really the case every year. It changes, it varies every year. There is no particular syllabus to foundation year. It varies every year. Even before coming to NID, I was really passionate about filmmaking and anything related to photography and videography and writing, basically. My foundation grades was pretty well. And I was given communication design. And also, it was my first choice. And the faculties didn't know that I'm interested in this. And so the thing is, if you are interested, one way in which you can get your discipline in your hand, it's not just by focusing on the foundation, just by studying or getting the courses in foundation done. What I can parallelly do is, see, in my case, since I was inclined towards filmmaking, what I did in my foundation years, I started a film club in our college, which was not there previously. So in that way, people also know that this is your area of interest and you're working towards it. So apart from the course structure of foundation, if you're investing your time in something you want parallelly with your foundation, I think it adds more value to it. And I'm not saying by doing that you will get your choice of discipline, but that is obviously like an icing on the cake, and there are more chances for you to get the choice of discipline you want. In communication design, there is typography, there is filmmaking, there is sound designing, there is illustration, there is animation design. All of this kind of comprises communication design. Obviously, more than this, I'm just giving a gist of it. So this is what you'll be learning in the second year. In the third and fourth years, the projects that you are seeking to do in the third and fourth year, you can do them based on your area of interest. Say, in my case, I'm into filmmaking. So my next year's, my third and fourth year's projects, I can execute them in the form of film and media. If a person is interested in illustration, or if one person is interested in typography, the projects they choose in the third and fourth year can be done in that way, in the way they want. In NID Ahmedabad, you have like, I don't know the number of disciplines, but you have more disciplines like film and media, you have animation design, you have game design, and the number of disciplines is more there. But in case of other NIDs, the number of disciplines is 3: industrial design, communication design, and textile design. So as far as I'm aware, right now I'm pursuing my second year in NID. As far as I know, how this works is, when you choose communication design as a whole, there is a lot of things that comes under that falls under this umbrella. So under communication design, you will be learning film and media, typography, illustration, all of the things that fall under communication. So in that case, there will be a multidisciplinary learning. You will be exposed to all of the areas. That's the case in the other NIDs. Whereas on the other side, in case of NID Ahmedabad, you get to specialize what you want. So the next 3 years, you'll be learning that particular thing. Say film and media, you'll be learning film and media for 3 consecutive years. GDPD means Graduate Diploma Program in Design, and BDES obviously means Bachelor of Design. So earlier NIDs, what NIDs used to offer was a GDPD degree and not a BDES degree. But in 2019, in the NID Amendment Act, um, all NIDs are offering a proper BDES design, Bachelor of Design. And it was brought forth, enacted by the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade and the Ministry of Commerce. From 2019, it's BDES in all NIDs. Campus life was great. I must say it was great because right now we are stuck in the pandemic and we are all at homes. It's like a different life there. It's not really a proper, whatever you have imagined in your so-called your college life, all of that will like change once you get into NID. When I say this, it's like you're free to do anything you want. It's all about cracking the exam and getting there, and then you are like free to do whatever you want. The freedom in not just doing what you want, but in thinking the way you want, because the kind of people around you, you'll get, because at the end of the day, it's not about the degree or what you're getting in your hand. It's not nothing, it has nothing to do with the degree. It's all about the interactions and the kind of people you meet around you and the place you live in. So since it's a in-house program, if you are a resident of Bhopal, you have to live inside the campus and then you have to pursue the course. So that is a good thing because we have classes at night and all. We have classes at 12 and 1. It can even used to go till 2, 3 at night. When I say this, don't feel like it's very hectic. No. It's all up to you. If you feel like working till late night, you can just sit in the class and work because nobody's going to come to you and say that you are not allowed to sit because it's free there. You can do, it's up to you. And most importantly, the kind of faculties, the kind of interactions you have there. I think that's what shape you as a designer more than the assignments or whatever you do there, the interactions, the kind of people you meet around. Because, and also there are people from like all over the country and there are like different minds working together for the same course. So obviously there will be conflicts in thoughts. There will be, differences in opinions. You get a platform to voice your opinion. Nobody's gonna say that, oh, no, you can't do this, or you have the freedom to do anything. So obviously when such conflicts, such confusions come, you have so many opinions, you'll be able to, form a perspective of yourself about not just design, but just life in general. Positives or pros of online classes are numerous actually. I think it's high time we stop complaining about them and, get used to this. Because obviously when there is pros, there is cons, but let's focus on the pros right now. You have enormous, unlimited sources to learn. It's not like you need to depend on the books of the college library or something. You have numerous ways to learn. You have your phones, you have digital libraries, you have e-learning platforms. And so there are like numerous opportunities out there. And you even have the choice to, do parallel degrees sitting at home, not just depend solely on your design degree, but you can do anything related to design when you're at home. And that is one thing. Another thing is there are a lot of way to, explore stuff. Since exploration like forms a basis to learn anything new, you have, with as somebody once rightly said, necessity is the mother of invention. When you are put in a hard time, you will learn to outgrow that. So when you are in college, everything is right for you. You have your classes, so there is no pressure or nothing to grow out from there. So you have your classes, you have your friends, you are in the safe zone. So there is no pressure or no torture there. Everything is going good. But right now, say in my case, if you are interested in filmmaking, if you want to be a filmmaker, but right now you have something, you have a pressure on top of you. You are like, okay, we are stuck in COVID. How do we produce? How do we make art? How do we produce movies? So that necessity obviously makes you do stuff. You feel like, okay, you'll think of new ways of executing things. You have your camera, you'll start shooting within your houses. As somebody once said, the best inspiration comes just around you. You need not read a lot, or you need not travel for that. The best inspiration comes from around you. like from your immediate surroundings. You just need to look at the people right around you, your family members, your siblings, or whoever, your household. You will have a lot of, things to learn from that, and you'll get a lot of ideas too, which you earlier were negligent to, I must say. So this does offer you like a new opportunity, I must say, this so-called being stuck at home, and when you are having online classes and online. But what you'll be missing out will be the peer learning, obviously, because when you're at college, if you do something wrong, there is that one person right there to come and say, okay, this is wrong, this is not how it should be done. And you have a choice to look at the other person's work and improve yourself. And there is obviously more choice of work right in front of you. But here, it's just your work. So, but I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You will focus more on your work. You will learn to, respect your work more. That's also a good way to learn. You need not, have exposure to a lot of people out there to learn. Focusing on yourself is also a good way to learn, I feel. Peer learning do happen. We have like groups. We watch movies in Discord. We have discussions about that. So there are like many platforms out there, not just Gmeet. There is Discord. There is Rave. There are like too many softwares and so apps out there where you can, sit together and, it's not just about chatting. It's about talking out each other's opinions and perspectives about things. And when it comes to work, if you have done, I think everybody has this so-called Google Drive thingy, which got popular in COVID, in times of COVID. So everybody puts in their work, and you get a chance to, view everybody's work. It's not like you're just seeing your work. You get a chance to view everybody's work. So there are many apps out there. There are many ways out there to see each other's. And obviously, at the end of the day, you always have your phone, or you can, call and talk to each other and get to learn stuff. Give it a thought. Like, why do you want to be in a design college? I'm saying this because not because I'm more learned than you. This was something told to me, a piece of advice given to me by a mentor of mine before me joining NID. So I was like, yeah, dude, that's like, why am I getting into NID? Like, why not any other art college, or why not any other courses? Why particularly NID or NIFT, or why? Just because it's a national institute? No, I don't know. Give it a thought. Secondly, be honest. I mean, be true to yourself when you're preparing or throughout the process. Because when you're true to yourself, it will reflect in what you will get. When I say true to yourself, when you're creating a piece of artwork, or when you are doing something, make sure the idea is coming from you. Let that be your own. Let that be something of your own. Be true to yourself. And let's not go for this particular set of syllabus that people have been following all the years to crack an ID. Let's go for a new way. I mean, let's look for something new. By just dump all the answer question papers you have been solving to get into an ID. Let's leave all that. Personally, what I did is something. I was alert to everything around me. So when I say I was alert to everything around me, I used to read newspapers every day. When I was watching a movie, I just don't watch the movie. I see for the background music. I see for the visuals. I see from which angle the particular shot is taken. What is this particular character doing here? Like, if there is a signboard in that particular shot, why is that kept here? Like, make yourself a little uncomfortable and ask questions to yourself. And like, read newspapers. I mean, you'll be like wondering, why should I read newspapers to get an ID? But yeah, just do all this. Just be alert to whatever is happening around you. Like the happenings around you, be more alert to that. Just know what is happening around and within you. When you're traveling, be alert. I mean, if you see a logo, just see, like if you see a logo of KFC or Domino's, just see, why is it designed in that way? Why can't it be like this? So when you give it a thought, you are actually putting yourself in a difficult situation. So when you put yourself in a difficult situation, you learn to grow from it. So do that. Like, keep asking questions to yourself and be true to yourself. And the first thing that I told earlier, why do you want to get into NID? What is the reason? I think these would be the two things I would ask.